It turns out the skills needed to raise, manage, and persuade tiny humans are the same skills needed to persuade big humans. Who knew? Welcome to Market Like a Parent and Parent Like a Marketer. I'm Danielle Weil, founder of DW Copy, creator of LaunchFlow. I'm a married mom of 4 living on a kibbutz in Israel, copywriter to the stars, marketing strategist, launch expert. I've been helping small businesses, mostly online, for 20 years and have made over $100 million for my clients over the course of my career. Most of what I teach in my programs and advise my clients with is very tactical and specific, and I've never really shared a whole lot of my personal life publicly. And yet every time I find myself using a marketing tactic with my kids or explaining a concept to a client with a parenting analogy, I knew that the connection between marketing and parenting and how both have changed my life couldn't be ignored any longer. So that's what this podcast is about. This podcast will explore what parenting can teach us about being a better marketer, what marketing can teach us about being a better parent, and everything in between. I'll share what it's like raising 4 kids in a small village in Israel where everyone knows your name, where kids roam barefoot by themselves, and where we occasionally have to lock ourselves in our home bomb shelter for safety from missiles. And I'll share stories of my 20 years helping businesses grow with the power of words and the right marketing strategy. This is a podcast for business owners and entrepreneurs who also happen to be parents. You do not have to be a parent to listen to this podcast. You don't need to be a business owner or a marketer to listen to this podcast. But if you happen to be both, if you're a parent and running a business, I hope you'll find something here to relate to and learn from. So often we tend to look at marketing as something that we have to put on like a costume or perform on a stage. And when that happens, it's fake. It's not us. It's not real. And our people feel it. But guess what? If you're a parent, you're using persuasion and marketing skills every single day. Every time you calm down a hysterical toddler, or negotiate curfews with a teenager, or get your 8-year-old to brush their teeth, you're marketing. And it happens naturally. So why not take what develops naturally as parents and bring it to the way that we market our businesses? I want everyone to know that marketing and persuasion are parenting skills and life skills, and see marketing in a different way through the frame of parenting, and potentially look at parenting in a new way through the frame of marketing. So what can dealing with your toddler's tantrums teach us about how to empathize better with your ideal clients? We're about to find out. Now, if you're selling a product that solves a particular problem, the conventional wisdom is that you have to make your prospects feel the pain of that problem. Everyone talks about pain points, twisting the knife. But why do we want to cause our clients pain? It's incongruent with who we are as business owners. We want to help our clients. And that's why being told to twist the knife, highlight pain points, speak to the pain of your ideal clients doesn't feel good. What's a better approach? My daughter used to have awful tantrums. The smallest things would set her off. Getting the wrong ice cream flavor, getting dressed in the morning and having to pick a shirt. Someone looked at her wrong. So how did we deal with this? Because it was so frustrating, never knowing what would set her off, when she would explode, and how to calm her down. First of all, we got really good at figuring out what was triggering her in the first place, what was triggering that tantrum in the moment. And then we learned something really important from her therapist that taught us how to cope with these tantrums and help her transition. And it's called the experience reality shift. First, you meet the kid with what they are experiencing. You verbalize it for them, you articulate it for them in words. And then you shift to what the reality actually is. You say, hey, I know that you are upset because your brother took your cup. But look, here is another cup. Look, here's how we can solve that. Look, it's really important to share the reality, experience, and reality. What happens when you do this? Your kid feels seen and understood. You're putting language to their emotions so that they can eventually articulate those emotions for themselves at some point. And you're helping them transition to a different reality in a way that feels supported. Why do toddlers have tantrums in the first place? Because they're having big emotions they don't have language to express yet. And it's our job as parents to give them that language and teach them how to deal with those emotions themselves. We can't get them to do what we want them to do until we first address what the problem is and acknowledge that they're having feelings and it's okay to have them. So your kid learns to trust that the parent is a safe place to have that meltdown, that they're safe to express that emotion, and the parent will help them process those feelings. Now, your ideal clients are having a tantrum. They have a problem. They have big feelings they may not be articulating or admitting even to themselves. And if we view our clients through that lens, our customers through that lens, instead of sales to be manipulated by twisting the knife with pain points, et cetera, it should change our whole approach. If we shift our perspective from, I have to figure out my client's pain points so I can twist the knife in my copy and remind them how much everything sucks so that they're desperate for my solution, you will not feel good about how you sell. And that doesn't feel good to me. That feels icky. And it's no wonder most business owners, when they're given this advice, don't do this. But what if we looked at it as showing our clients that we understand and empathize with their problem, that we know what it feels like, that we get it? Sometimes we can even articulate it for them better than they can for themselves. Then they go, this person sees me. This person is here to help me process this. Now, this happens in different ways depending on our kids' ages and depending on our customers' level of sophistication. So how do we read what the problem is with very few clues because your toddler is screaming? You look at context. What happened the night before? What happened earlier that day? What was the trigger in the moment that maybe triggered that thing? And sometimes, especially with older kids, the thing that sets them off isn't really the thing that's truly bothering them. And then we have to dig a little bit deeper. And it's true with our clients as well. The thing that they say is the problem isn't usually what the problem really is. And they need us to both articulate what they think it is and show them what it actually is, to make that shift from the experience to the reality for them. So how do we specifically do this in our messaging and our copy? In two really important ways. The first way is we use their own words. So first, we have to listen. We ask, we have conversations, we ask people what their number one challenges are and to explain it in their own words. And then we use those words and phrases, the ones that keep coming up again and again, in our own messaging. So if your people talk about going off into the la-la land of ideas and not being able to decide when it comes to choosing a business or a market, or if you're in the health and wellness space, the 10 p.m. fridge raids, or the bone deep exhaustion that never goes away, those phrases, marketing gold. Take them, use them, have conversations with your clients and your prospects regularly to mine that information. Look at Amazon reviews. Use AI tools, but they're generally not going to be as specific. You can use AI tools to help you analyze survey information that you already have, but making sure that we are always listening to what our clients are actually saying and reflecting their words back to them. That is the best way that they will feel heard. And it's what we do with our kids too. If they say, I'm upset that she did this, we reflect it back to them. Now, the second way is being able to add dimension and emotion to those words and turn them into snapshot moments. So the 10 p.m. fridge raid turns into talking about the emotions underneath, that spiral of guilt and shame, the vicious cycle that happens, getting on the scale, feeling like you just can't do it no matter what. Painting the picture with their words and layering emotions on top of them. And the more specific we can be in describing that, the more they'll feel heard. And we learn to read the clues of what they're not saying too. So describing what this problem looks like in their lives, how it affects everything else beyond what they think it does, will help you really emphasize what's at stake. And what happens when we do this? Our clients feel heard. They feel like somebody gets them. They relax enough and pause enough to hear your explanation of the problem and your solution. And if you're a toddler, they sniffle, they wipe their tears, and then they're like, okay, I'll go take a bath now, I guess, right? In the best case scenario, that's what happens. And the same experience versus reality shift works with kids and clients. So try it and let me know how it goes. This has been Market Like a Parent and Parent Like a Marketer. Until next time, I'm Danielle Weil.